everyone. Good to see you. Hopefully, internet and all that's good. Yes, perfect. Good to see you guys. Paul Trani here, Evangelist for Adobe. I'm joined by Alyssa Wood, yay, fellow coworker, as well as Photoshop product manager.
No, design manager.
Design manager. Yeah. Design manager.
Yeah.
But the important thing is, I feel like you knew the inside scoop more than I do, so this is good.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Internet's kind of like holding together for us. Might be a little rough, but maybe it's because we're both here. Who knows? But good to see you here, Clarissa, Frank, Carol, Rick, Oliver, Matt's over there on YouTube and Facebook, Afrosia. Awesome. So yeah, so glad you're here. I don't know. Can you tell people about yourself and like maybe where they would have seen you?
I don't know where you might have seen me. Paul and I met during the Adobe Max, so we were both part of the keynote. We both live in Denver, which is rare for Adobe employees. So
yes,
that kind of brought us together. And I am a design manager on the Photoshop team, so I manage a group of designers who are working on the product, and we work really closely with product managers and the engineers and everybody else who's making Photoshop. So you know, it's great to be here. I'm really excited to kind of be in front of the folks who use it every day.
Yeah, totally. We're so happy to have you. Like, what does your day-to-day look like? Are you interfacing with, like, obviously your designers and developers, or like, what is a day in the life of your job?
Of a design manager?
Yeah, of a design manager.
A lot of meetings, but yes, working with, you know, the designers. We have Crit, where we try to make sure that we're considering all the different user needs and that the designs are adhering to our system, our design language. And then, yeah, working with the engineers and the product managers to make sure we're aligning with constraints and meeting business goals. So, you know, a lot of balancing.
Yeah, a lot of meetings.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we were able to steal you for an hour this morning. We had to get you early because, you know, it's like 80 wish list and new features. It's like we're expecting Alyssa to just grant our wishes, if you don't mind. Can you just like add it to the list and then it'll get done? But I think it's good. Like, I think it's like having a direct line with community. Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's like what's most important. But to kind of get that conversation going, I'll just go ahead and like share my screen really fast. Mingo. So yeah, essentially, you know, talk about some of the new features that we keep putting in our products. We'll start with kind of what was released in October. I know Alyssa knows the backstory for a lot of these, which has been insightful for me. But then also we could dive into the beta because we don't talk much about the beta as well. So I think that's super cool to dive into the beta. So actually, yeah, and let's kind of show them. I can show them on my screen really fast. Disregard that green, but right in here. Imagine that right down here.
Yes.
Beta apps. So is this available to everyone, or what's the situation here?
Yes, beta apps are available to everyone. If you go into your Creative Cloud desktop app, like Paul showed in the side nav, you have this beta apps option. So Illustrator beta, Photoshop beta, After Effects. And that's where you can install the beta version. You can still have the standard Photoshop on your machine as well.
And run them both at the same time. I have them both running at the same time.
Yeah.
If you can see right down there. So, and then, you know, pre-release is nothing. So this isn't like region locked. Is there any, it's probably what, like, is there any region
That's actually a good question that I feel like I don't know the answer to, but I would imagine that I think it's universal.
Yeah. So I just like, yeah. So either way, but so it should be there for you, and that gives you bonus features. Ooh, that's okay. So Frank already mentioned he's using the new beta feature, thanks to the gradient feature, which I don't know, maybe you can show. If you don't mind, we'll just switch to you. Get this party started.
Sure. All right. So the gradient feature, I've got a gradient here, and I'm in the beta app. And the fun thing about the new gradients, I can just kind of start one over here, is that here you can choose if you want to go into the classic gradient or if you want to stick with the new one. And when you draw a gradient with a new one, you get this on-canvas UI. You can keep playing with it. So I can come in here if I feel like this is a little stark transition, start playing with the color stops to make it look exactly how I want. I can change the style of gradient that it is, even once I've applied it. So it's pretty pretty flexible and makes it really easy to kind of get exactly what you're wanting. I'm just going to scale this down a bit. This gradient isn't quite beautiful, but that's fine. And the thing I like about the beta, which we were talking about before, is that you can come here and you hit this little beaker icon up in the header here. And here you get all these options to give feedback. It gives you a list of kind of the features that we have in beta right now that are only available in beta and aren't yet in the standard version of Photoshop. So it's kind of like you have early access, and then we're here listening to feedback. So if you come in live gradients, we tell you a little bit about what it is, what to expect. And then you can come in and say, did you like it? Yes or no? And then even explain why. Like if there was a certain glitch, or you just were expecting a different part of the feature, different options, that's all, you can put it in here, and people are listening on our team, and we're using this to make iterations before we then ship it in the general release of Photoshop. So it's really powerful, the feedback we get from folks and how it helps us shape what these features are.
Do you end up seeing the feedback too? You do?
We see the feedback. It also
end up
gets
in your inbox?
It doesn't end up in my inbox, but the feedback does come. We have, community outreach folks on our team, similar to Paul, but more embedded with our team, who get the feedback, and then they help get that to the right product managers, the right designers, so that we can then make iterations and make sure that we're, addressing it.
Yeah, and you're ultimately in meetings where you do hear about this feedback,
yes.
Obviously,
yes.
like for sure.
Yeah.
So, which is like invaluable, because this is one of the first things you mentioned, is just giving feedback, which I'm like, I hate to say, sometimes you're like, okay, whatever, I don't like feedback, it's fine, really, it's fine. But I think in this case, like Frank said, I think it actually is pretty invaluable to have that, this especially as a feature. Now, when you save those gradients, by the way, real fast, this is my feedback right now.
Oh, great.
Great. You could save that, right? You could save that there, boom.
Rainbow. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It never saves,
You're wanting...
Yeah, I'm just thinking it doesn't save this as a radial gradient, which is probably just fine. I know it doesn't.
Right. It's because it's it's a preset of the color stops, and then you can apply it to any style gradient. So if you wanted it to be radial, if you wanted it to be something else, you can just apply that to any of them. And it won't override what you've set, the type of the gradient.
Ooh, look at the method too. This is interesting. Linear, and then change that to classic. So see how it changes? Yeah, go ahead.
So this has to do, and I'm going to use a word that I don't even know if I know the actual meaning of, but it's interpolation. And so this is how we actually calculate how we gradiate from one stop to another. And so we're trying to give you more options here, the classic, but then some of these are maybe closer to what you get in like an Illustrator or something else today. And it has this smoother transition. It looks a little nicer. The colors blend a bit better.
They do blend. They seem to blend more.
Yeah.
There's more of a smooth transition from one to the next. And I feel like you'll really notice if you ever take any complementary colors like a green and blue, that blending looks better.
Yeah.
Like even if you change that yellow to a green.
Okay.
And then we'll switch between the two. And zoom in on your screen. Get that nice and there we go. Oh yeah, beautiful.
Sounds good.
Oh, it's following my head. So my camera.
It's okay.
Sorry, I gotta move over. What happened?
I can just be this disembodied voice.
No, we'll get you. That automatically turned on. So anyway, so now when you switch between perceptual and the other one, it shouldn't.
You can see it's changed.
There, look at that. Those look like rings. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Look at how muddy it gets between those two colors.
And this was actually work, I think, that we released last year around Max time. So it's been in the app for a while, but it really does, level up the gradient. It does, for certain colors, it really does a better job.
Oh, man. And somebody who uses gradients a lot, I love this. And it's the little things, really. So, all right. So, you mentioned, Carol says, why are there substance materials in Photoshop if they're getting rid of 3D? That's a great question. Oh, this is fun. So we could talk about 3D, but we could also show the substance materials as well.
I can show some of that. So I have this image. I don't know if people have been to Denver, but this is the Denver Art Museum. So the substance materials, kind of the use case in Photoshop is like if you've used patterns, it's for me, I kind of think of it as similar, but you get a lot more control and it's based on real physical materials. So you'll get some of that texture and stuff that you might not get from like a pattern. And then so like here, for instance, I'm going to go ahead and open the materials window. So here we have all of these materials and you could always, trying to drag. You could always click here to go find more. So tons of materials and models here. And what's cool is like I've applied this material here. I get all these parameters down here. I can change the colors. I can change different aspects of the material. So it gives you a lot of control. And again, it's a bit more of a textured, realistic look than you would get from like a pattern. But it is true that we're kind of stepping away from the more robust 3D workflows.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, we have new 3D in Illustrator. We have an entire 3D suite of tools. Mm-hmm. And then we also, I feel like we've always kind of gotten I could be wrong, but we've kind of gotten the complaint from photographers that they don't like the 3D stuff in there. Like, or at least they blame the 3D on slowing down Photoshop. Like, what's this doing in here? I don't like it in here. So we've gotten pushback from the Photoshop community, at least back in the day. But also, like it's also, I don't know, dare I say, it's like honestly something that we can, if it's no longer in Photoshop, we could focus those resources on other parts of Photoshop.
Exactly, yeah. And I think like with the, Substance suite being part of Adobe now, we did the keynote with some of those guys, Gio and they are so great, and Wes, but they are so great, and they gave us a lot of examples of how we could use that in some of our work, even though I'm definitely not a 3D artist. And so it's really, those are the apps now that are like best suited for if you're wanting to do some sort of, 3D design.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Because it's just...
But you're playing in right now.
I'm actually playing in right now. Yeah. I was going to so it begs the question, like, how do you make these materials? And if you do click on that, did you click on the... Yeah, click right there. Like, there's a ton in here. Like, anything you search for, it'll be in here. Like, just amazing stuff, which I think is, like, super cool.
Yeah.
But you could also make this stuff in the 3D tools. Like, I just opened up this example. I'll just switch over to my screen. I'm probably not going to do this demo right, because I just was going to do it on the fly. But essentially taking something like, this asset, which you can see right here, it's like, okay, I want this to be like a nice embroidered type, a patch or something. So you just have this ping file, and you'd use something like Substance 3D Sampler, right? So that's what this is, Substance 3D Sampler. This is where you can make that stuff. You drop in the image right up here. Let's give it a second. Bop, bop. And you're going to get image to material. And so here it is. And ultimately, we could see it right here. Sorry, my screen's freaking out a little bit. Let's turn that off. And then let's search for, we need to add a filter, which is going to be embroidery. And now it's like embroidered. I mean, sorry, my zooming and I get all the shortcuts mixed up for all these three, like from Cinema 4D to this and everything. But like, look, this is embroidered. I'm trying to zoom in. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Sorry, I'm having on the struggle bus for zooming in and out.
It is pretty
careful.
rad.
So anyways, something that like would be so impossible to do in...
And Frank's asking if the materials are included with the CC subscription. So that base set comes in the app already. And then there's this, what we've linked out to here. And I think all CC subscribers have access to this too. Are there any materials? I think that there are some materials that might be for purchase, but I'm not totally sure. But But here you can just download these and then install them like you might do with a brush or something, and then use them in your Photoshop.
Yeah, and I'm sharing your screen now, which is awesome. So you can't search for things as long as they're the SBSM file type. So anyways, and they actually, SBSAR, yeah, SBSAR, sorry. And there's models in here and stuff. So yeah, you guys get the idea. And we can go on, because of course those materials, same thing goes for Illustrator, by the way. Like as we even open up the 3D and materials, that's also in Illustrator as well. So this is of course a Photoshop session, so I don't want to get too carried away here. But you guys get the idea. So yeah, so the community materials are available to you for free, but there's also like the professional materials, which are part of the Substance subscription,
Yes.
basically. So, and this is another reason. So I'm trying to open up the 3D materials panel. It's taking a second. So this is welcome to 3D. Here's our life. It's just like, it takes a little while.
It does take a minute.
So anyways, I think so that's, you guys get it. It's right here. And you have the same 2 boxes. So here's kind of the difference. You have the community assets are right here. And then you have like the professional assets that you get with the subscription right here.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm in Photoshop, I'll just jump into our next little, feature, which is nice, which is just taking something like this, anything in Illustrator, and, pasting it into Photoshop as layers. Mm-hmm. Now, this doesn't have any fonts, which I'll do that in a second. Right. So we'll just paste this one. And there might be some mass in it. Otherwise, everything came in brilliantly. It's perfect, fantastic. We could try something like more complex.
And if you expand, so go.
Go back.
Yeah, like the important part is like if we expand that group now, it's not a smart object. It's not rasterized. It's all the individual layers. And so you have this here. They're as paths in.
Oh yeah. And you can, obviously change all these properties and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So that's awfully nice.
So you don't have to hop back and forth as much.
Yeah, for sure. That is nice. Text. So we could do. I'm just going to take text on the path. You will run into things like we ran into this morning, clipping masks might not, it might rasterize it or try to interpret it, whatever. I mean, Illustrator isn't built into Photoshop, so some things are going to translate, some things aren't. But you can see the text translated just fine right in here. And it's all that text on a path, so this is huge, being able to, use Illustrator to manipulate type the way I want, drop it in here, and be well on my way, which is cool. All right. Oh, yeah, what about the poor embroidery artists? Oh, they're using the computer.
Well, it's not going to spit out an embroider patch. You still need the embroiders. And I think what's cool about this is like if you've done a lot of work in Illustrator, maybe you're someone who prefers to work with type there. You've created some really great text lockups, maybe for a brand or something else. You can then just bring that in here, and it's again fully editable. You can change colors, add layer styles and stuff to it, and it's text.
Yeah, and it works out great. I just selected her. I'm going to just do, and the next thing we could also talk about, actually what I was going to do with this, since I brought it in, okay, this looks great. We want to put that behind her.
Right.
Right, that's kind of the idea. But this does bring up sort of the new selection capabilities, and I'll jump back to our little cheat sheet here. Selection improvements, a couple different ways to do this, right? Because I use the right up here object selection tool, and I honestly I usually have this turned off. I don't usually have it run all the time just because my stuff might be kind of complex, but obviously it's turned on. And then this is interesting, right over here it could automatically select the subject, which is cool. But also, and let me step back once, is this little drop down. Ooh, device for quicker results.
So quicker results if you're using the model, the AIML model that's on your device that comes with the software, or if you use the model that's in the cloud, you're going to get we say detailed results, but I mean, you can read into that maybe better, maybe more refined results. And so we would kind of suggest that that's the best result, but we do know that some people just like to work locally too. So
yeah,
the options are there.
And it is sticky. So and that's also in here, preferences.
Right. So you can set your preference, and then you can override it if there's like different use cases that you.
And is that called select subject?
Oh yeah, and we have. I don't know if you've
Oh
talked
yeah,
about
no, that's
preferences search before.
Yeah, that's why. I love this because I literally like it's just the little things. This has helped me out a number of times.
Yeah, one of our designers.
Because I was like, is it select subject? It's sub.
Well, actually,
perfect.
The
Bingo.
story behind this is that, our engineering team every once in a while does these things called, garage weeks, where they just kind of take on a week or two where they just want to solve something that they think is a problem. And this came out of that, where they were like, we could do search for preferences because our preferences are quite robust. And so they did that in 2 weeks. They came up with the concept and had it kind of working, and then worked with one of our designers, Olivia, to make it what you see today. So it really helps if you're in preferences and you're like, I have no idea.
And sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, no, it's just.
I just love it. It's like hidden up here. Even if you misspell something, I don't know how to spell color. It's like I got you, and it lists out. Okay,
well,
there's color.
we know there are people like you, Paul.
Thank you. We're designers. You know what? Letters are just words are just design elements to me. Look at these design elements.
Yeah.
Oh, it's color. The word definitely needs 2 O's in it. There needs to be a separation between the L and the R visually.
Yeah.
That's how it looks to me. But I like how it corrects my spelling.
It's super helpful, and then it'll even I don't know if you saw that little highlight. It'll highlight the thing on the page that you're looking at that corresponds to the.
It'll jump. It jumps.
So
yeah, there we go.
It says, "Hey, on the page it's here."
Hey, mate. Do you know about these? Do you know about? do you know what? You can say a story.
Spells color European way.
Oh yeah, that's even cooler. That's the way I read that. Coolers is cooler. Do you know about this little shortcut to do these little?
I did not know that.
Ew. We get to show you stuff, Alyssa, too. So coming in here, if you hold on Option, Command, Shift, so basically almost all the modifier keys, you can have like
I think
rye toast,
or
espresso, or a latte.
I think mine's the second one, like kind of my
Your
coffee.
my
coffee.
Yeah, let's check it. That one?
No, there.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too, and that's where I keep my interface too. It's about right there. The other one everybody knows is like this little banana.
Okay, I don't know any of these.
Well, these are the only 2. If you guys know of one, it's the same keys, and then you hit done.
That's so fun.
Layer comp monkey face. Layer comp. Sean, I'm news to me as well. That's why we're a community, man. We're all learning together. So would love to know the layer comp monkey face. Did you know we can have, I know in the layer names, you can have emojis and stuff, can't you?
I did not
paste them in there or no?
Maybe.
I know you can in XD. So
we now support emojis, I think, in like commenting in the commenting panel, but I'm not sure about the layers panel.
I guess I haven't ever seen it in here.
Yeah.
And we can go on you know about like the tab key. We'll just move down to the next
layer.
Next layer, like the next layer that's turned on. Like if you're renaming a bunch of things, you just hit the tab key and it'll just go down and rename not that we name our layers, do we? Do you guys? I don't know.
At the end, I do.
If you have to share it with someone, then, it would just be fun to see. Because, like, do I name my layers on this for instance? Oh, I think actually it was showing this on a live stream, so everything is named.
You don't want to be judged.
I didn't want to be judged. I don't want to make it an issue. You know what? Nobody cares. It doesn't matter. However you want to work is cool.
I feel like we've lost the thread.
We have lost the thread. But the segue is really jumping into harmonization, which I think is nice. And again, this is just our chance to show some cool, fun things.
Let's do it. Are you going to do
like this? I'll just do it on this one. But
yes.
then if you want to, talk about some new neural filters after this, that would be awesome. Let me go into panel options.
And Sean just told us how we can make a monkey.
Screenshot.
Yeah, so we'll do that.
I'm gonna
after.
Boop. There we go.
Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, this is, it works best with the drastic scenes, I think. I don't even know if I've done it with this photo. Was going to try a couple different scenarios. But essentially, you could clearly see that this definitely needs to be harmonized with that night scene behind it. So let's go to neural filters. By far my favorite, by the way. Like harmonization is just, harmonization is just my favorite. It's like the most useful. Turn that on. You then have to select your layer, which is that night scene. There we go. It goes through, does all the magic, and there it is. So we can kind of compare that, the before and then the after. And all that work I didn't have to do.
And the thing about harmonization is that we've had it in the app, I want to say a year now, maybe more. But this past year, right around Max, we updated the model, the AI and ML. So you should be getting even better results.
Oh, wow.
But one thing to point out, I don't know if you can highlight, are you satisfied with the result? Just like in beta, yes. You here can say no, yes. And, I work with some of the folks who work on these features, and they're constantly referencing the feedback that they get here. So it's really important if something doesn't work the way you want it to, let us know.
It worked well.
Fix the elephant.
That room. I was gonna just make a joke, but it could be funny. All right. So anyway, fix the elephant. They're not gonna. That doesn't make any sense to them.
I think they would like that.
Okay, fix the elephant. You guys rock, and you're having a great hair day, aren't you?
There you go.
Okay. The image is probably too big, so I'll just submit.
That's a good question, Rick. I don't know if photo restoration has a limit on face detection. I think you misspelled elephant too, Cody.
Oh, oops.
Wasn't letting that one go.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, I'm sure I did. Oh, elephant. Ah, that's a funny comp. That's a good. An elephant with pants. An elephant. Ah, you're so clever. Obviously, we change this like all we want. I'd probably maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's
darken
nice
it a
because
little.
you can come in here and make tweaks. You can see like they're kind of doing some color balance in the background and brightness and contrast and other things to make it the harmonization work. And so then you can come in and decide, does it meet your expectations? So
yeah, I love it. I tend to play with these two, like strength and the brightness, and that's just me. But I think it did a great job right out of the bat.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've ever called that out. No, it's cool. I don't know if you've ever called that out before, but at the bottom there, you can choose like, maybe you don't want it. If you, I think if you scroll down, will it say same layer? I think we can't see the whole box. I feel like this is not good that we can't. But so you can choose if you want it to be a smart filter on the current layer, so convert it to smart object, apply a smart filter, or if you want it to just be a new image layer. So it's up to you.
New layer. Oh, so it keeps your old one.
Yeah. So either way, non-destructive. So you.
What's this layer preview? Show all layers. Show selected layer. Oh, okay. Kind of toggle that. Mm-hmm. Okay, nice. Into it. The only thing I'm not like. So what it does do. Also, it creates this smart filter, gives you this mask. Mm-hmm. Like, if I disable that filter mask, it's the same thing. I don't know why it creates this mask. I don't really need it. And so it wouldn't be a big deal, but when I go to resize this, it will get...
the mask
let's just see what happens.
I'm hoping a mask resized with it.
Yeah, me too.
But if not, this is great feedback for the team.
It is great. My bad. I'm sorry. No. You're right. I need to give more feedback to the team. I really do. So, anyways, while it's doing that, I think. Oh shoot! You still.
Yeah. I think it just went to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what happened at this point, but we'll switch over to you. It's taking.
That's not good either. So
a second.
Did you want me to talk about? There's another neural filter.
Yeah, and let's talk about it. I think this is a great chance for Alyssa and just us to hear your feedback, to see what you think. Like, we would love to think everything's great and awesome and all the things, but like, let us know, because we have an opinion about the stuff as well. Yeah, you want to do like the backdrop or?
Yeah, we can talk about backdrop. So, okay, fine. So I can just come in here, just like Paul did. I'm in neural filters, and we have one named backdrop. So This one's pretty new. It's pretty early. What it does is if you give it a prompt, it's going to generate an image using AI and ML based on your prompt. So here, the standard one that we just have in there is like gold and black paint swirling. So it creates these images, and you can just click on them and use them. And then there's also this handy thing, because I have trouble sometimes thinking.
I love this.
Okay.
This is awesome.
So these are like popular prompts, so you can see what people have gotten out of it. The use case for this, it's called backdrop. So you're not going to get, photos of people and stuff like that. But it's for things that are more like textural, natural, artistic, background style stuff. So, you can come in here and say like pink, type in something and then kind of see what you get. And then to choose it and apply it, you just click on it. We'll just give it a second to render.
Yeah,
so this one's cool.
We're hitting the interwebs.
So that's cool. And so you can just keep, I don't know, with water. Just keep putting in different prompts and seeing what you get out of it.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about this. I honestly don't know what sort of AI is running in the background. It could be Stable Diffusion, but I don't know if it's like DALL-E or what. But like it's using some model behind the scenes that I'd be curious about. And honestly, like we struggle because it's like there's all this crazy AI stuff that begs like designers are like, am I going to be out of a job? But how can we? It's everything Scott said in the keynote and David Wawani. It's like, how can we give you tools, AI tools to help you with work and to feel you empowered, but not to feel threatened.
Yeah.
So.
And just like anything else, you can come in here and say what you liked, didn't like about it. You can use these like quick checkboxes if you don't feel like typing, submit. You can include your image, which we have by default, just because it makes it easier for us to say, okay, we saw what went wrong, but up to you. So, and then you can click off here to like learn more about how your feedback is being used.
Okay, love it. Yeah, that's awesome. I think that is cool, and we'll see what happens. It gave you like 8 different results or so.
It gives me 3 for each one, and then you can just keep refreshing if you don't like what you got.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. It's the magic. It's where we're at. You can't ignore technology. Technology's coming your way. It is. Like, look out. Whether you like it or not, whether you think AI is good or not, it's here.
And if you're into it, if you're, I want more of that kind of stuff. If you come into the plugins, I'm not sure of all their names, but in recent months, there have been a lot of plugins that have been talked about for Photoshop that are using Stable Diffusion type models. So come in here, look for those.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me switch over to you. I'm sorry, I wasn't switched over to you.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just saying you can come in, find some plugins here in the
Is the Stable Diffusion one in there?
Yeah, but I don't remember the name.
You what?
I can't remember the name.
Because it's Christian Cantrell's.
There's that one, but there's also another one that we have that's an external third party who's created one. So
really,
Steve's excited that 2 people are in the room with you, or one person's here with you.
Yeah, so am I. I'm like, I have a coworker. Everybody, they're not just little boxes on a screen. Usually, they're just little boxes on a screen.
Yeah, it happens. So
I think that's awesome. Like, I seriously want to spend more time with plugins and all that. That's gonna be cool. All right. We could kind of switch over and kind of continue on down the line. Plugins are huge. I have a list of my favorites.
Oh.
Like I use, here, let me just show you really fast. Plugins, obviously open up plugins panel. I'll use this free stock search, and I like Pixel Squid. But like, I just need a quick free image. Jump in here. Yeah, I might need a...
Is it searching Adobe stocks free images or just
I'll show you in a second. So we'll. I don't know why I probably spelled that wrong.
Yeah, I don't even know how to spell it. So Mammoth.
Mammoth? Is that right? Am I crazy?
I don't know
Should I do Kitty? Let's go Kitty. We can't go wrong with Kitty.
There we go.
Oh, so adorable. But Unsplash, Pixabay is one. Yep. A couple different places.
So it's bringing it in from all the.
But I could have swore they added
Free
um,
Adobe stock.
Adobe stock.
Because if people don't know, with your subscription, there's like free Adobe stock.
Oh man, it is so nice. It really is.
Yeah.
And we kind of hide it because in the libraries panel,
I don't know if you can filter by free or like set a filter to free. So if you go to search, go.
Oh, do I have to go in one?
Yeah, and then search Adobe stock. So you can do stock search.
Underwater.
Yeah. But
we could actually.
This is still searching your library. Did you set it on stock?
Oh, it might have switched since I switched. Yeah, now it should do it. Okay,
there
cool.
you go. And the blue check marks means like it's licensed. The other ones, they aren't.
Mm-hmm.
But you can initiate licensing from here too. So.
Yeah, that is cool. And usually at the bottom.
Yeah, I think there's like 36 here, and then you get to the bottom, and I know a weird amount of this because I used to work on libraries.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice.
So.
Okay, yeah, I could resize that, but I like just being able to. I could have swore one of these. There's a couple different of these like free stocks. There's a couple of them that you'll find out there. One of them actually does pull from Adobe stock as well, and maybe it's just these results, but either way, I still like going out to, Adobe stock and just looking at all the free assets. Like again, it looks like I gotta sign in and all that stuff, but you get the idea. Yeah, so that's nice. It returns like, I don't know how we make any money. We give away so many free images, but I love it. It's awesome. Let's switch gears because once you have your image, I wanted to talk about, I did want to talk about this as I jump back out to the browser. Get into this like one-click delete and fill, and almost like a little gotcha that we were talking about this morning. It might be this scenario where it's like, okay, I maybe want to delete this catcher or something. So, object selection tool, I should be able to
just click on him.
Click on him. There he is. And then if you do, just like it says out here, so this is what we ran into.
So
there we go. So shift delete since I'm on a Mac.
So then you can choose if you want to do content aware fill, and I believe this is sticky.
Yeah, because I use it all the time.
And there's one nuance that we were talking about is that if you have a file that only has one image, one layer in it, by default, if you click on her, so just clicking, you don't have to lasso around what you want to select. You just click.
Just click, and now shift delete.
Yep.
No menu, no pop-up, does it automatically if it's a flattened image. So this has to be a sort of background locked.
Just a
JPEG.
single layer. And that was because the team was really, we're hesitant to make huge changes to things that are pretty, how would you say, foundational to a lot of people's workflow, like delete and shift delete. People are kind of used to getting that dialogue and having the options to put in what they want. So this is our first step into just making it automatically content aware fill. But again, this is a great place where if you have feedback on what you would expect or for shift delete to do, and even a multi-layer document, let us know.
Mm-hmm. This is also what happens. You probably noticed this.
So a good way to go about that is another model we've been working on is we have different models that do the content aware fill. And we've been working on a new one and we're testing that. And I don't know if you do, if you right click on this, you should get delete and fill. This is using one of the newer options. So if you click this.
I'm so glad you're here.
If you click this, what it's going to do is it's actually going to expand the selection a little bit and use one of the other models. And so it gets rid of that haloing. But again, we have to be we have to tread careful when we make changes. So we haven't made that the default content aware fill yet. But
okay.
Let us know what you think.
I love it. Because my demo is, you selected it. Now you need to go to select, modify, expand by 5 pixels.
Right, yeah.
That's how we have to do it because, it's not going to get all of his shirt.
Shift delete your
But
exit.
man, that is so awesome. So First off, how long has this been here?
Oh gosh, I want to say we did it maybe in like September, October.
Okay, good. It's
So
like
it's
a
newer.
new thing. Okay, I'm gonna do a screenshot.
For yourself.
Yeah, for myself. Ah, come on, people. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Love it. For a lot
Is
of
that only in beta? I think that is in. This is the standard.
this is this is
general
straight.
release,
Yeah, nothing special about this.
Mm-hmm. So it's everywhere.
So yeah, super cool. I think what we do with selections and all that is pretty darn awesome. This is also my favorite thing that I show all the time that people need to know about. Maybe you did this in the demo.
Mm-hmm.
Is just remove background.
You can do it from there. Yeah, remove background.
Bingo. And this is still using. Is this using my defaults or whatever I have set up for sort of this? Because it does a select subject and then
Mask.
apply mask.
Yeah.
So it's using.
Cloud or local? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I think it should be using the one that you've set as your default.
Okay, cool. But so using the cloud version might give you more detailed results, but still, it's like so. This is constantly improving. Is
But
the
it
way I
might
feel about
take
this.
a tiny bit more time because it's processing. In the cloud,
Okay.
So.
But no, like I feel like it's worked, pretty
Need a
darn
button
well,
to
and it gives you
remove
that.
shadows.
Need a button to remove shadows now. We'll get right on that. Can you notify the team?
They know.
Okay. Oh, they know.
So.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's up, Jose? My name is Paul Trani. I'm an evangelist for Adobe. These are titles.
More like who's Alyssa Wood? I'm Hudson's mom. I'm just here today.
This is Hudson's mom. Maybe we'll see Hudson later.
Yeah.
No. But anyway, so I think this is like some of the things that people miss, like that we hear about. Like this is what I want to share with everyone and let people know what we really use on a regular basis. I think is important. That's one of the things I use an awful lot. So let's just jump back out here. Make sure we covered all these. Invite to edit, share for review. Those are all pretty straightforward. What I think is cool is if you do a share for review, say for this, this happens to be a PSD on my desktop. So when I share it, it doesn't ask it to be a cloud document or anything.
You can do it with local, yeah.
You could do it with a local file. And I think that is so cool, given that people do, because I think that was a barrier. It's like, oh, now it's, it's not a local file. People have I still do it. I still have all my PSDs on my desktop.
A lot of people work locally just out of preference, but we also acknowledge that like some people who work in studios or different organizations are required not to like store things like their files in our cloud or something. So, we want to be really flexible. Make sure this is something we can all use.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
So you can invite folks
so nice.
now. You can
anyone with the link can comment. So, anyways, I'll just take this. It's not a great design, but just to prove my point, I'll try to paste it into chat, and now you guys can comment on it. Yeah, not much going on here, but we'll see them start like rolling through, and I think we talked about this a lot at Max and everything, but. Adding those comments. So feel free if you guys care to.
Another thing to call out is like that remove background and select subject. If you go back to, so if you go to select, in your menu, you always have select subject and select sky there. So that's always there. And as we're continuously training the models to recognize more things semantically so that we can say like different things. It just takes time to train them. And then, a lot of these things like select subject, remove background, you can do all those in Photoshop Web as well. So if you want to do something kind of fast and you're like, I don't really want to launch the full desktop app, you can just go to Photoshop on the web.
Oh yeah. See, that's awesome. And let's just double check over here. There we go. Is there any way, so correct me if I'm wrong, if this started in Photoshop on the web and I shared it, then there's going to be a button in here for me to jump back to edit it? I don't know. Let me just go.
So if you, to get back to the original document?
Yeah, there's like, I've seen reviews where, but there's a button here that says open in Photoshop.
That's if you're looking at the live document, I think. So
Okay.
if you've been invited, so you should just be able to like find, oh, you've stored it locally.
This might be a larger file, but this is a case where share. Oh, here we have, so again, Photoshop for the web, have this open in the desktop app if I want to.
Right.
And then also
one
if I
thing
share
about
it.
share for review is, it's a new feature, and right now it's just in desktop, so we don't have it in the web yet.
Okay.
But you can, open cloud documents in the web, and there is, I believe, yes, the commenting panel. So if there are comments made, you can view comments on your document there still.
Okay. Done. Copy link. I kind of want to see what it says right in here. Okay. So anyways, yeah, over here, this like all my comments will come in right here is what you're saying. Bingo. Oh yeah, let's take a look at my other file.
And one
tell
thing
me.
to call out that we've been like working on across like web and desktop is this bar down at the bottom called the context bar. And so we're kind of web is really great because we can build things really quickly here, and so we've been able to do this here before and we do it elsewhere. But you can see like we try to highlight the most relevant options, next steps. So like select subject, remove background. This is something if you just have like an image selected. I don't know, Paul, if you can make a selection on your canvas. Just anything, doesn't have to be anything pretty. Yeah. So then the options update to basically say, all right, you made a selection. Maybe you want to, invert it. Maybe you want to make a mask. You want to apply a adjustment.
I like that.
We have it for text as well, or type. So this is just something we're exploring. We know that our goal is like to make it super approachable and easier to like find some of these options. But it also kind of cuts down on mouse mileage, so you don't have to keep clicking around to find them. They're kind of there. So.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And that's just, let me think. I mean, it's the same for Illustrator on the iPad, has this little like heads up display type thing. Then Photoshop on the iPad has this bottom bar of additional options.
Right.
Doesn't have this little thing, which this is kind of cool. If I could get back to this, right? Yeah, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, so just update based on what you're doing, and you can, if you don't like it, you can hide it. So I think that the option for hiding it.
Selection bar. I'm keeping it up.
Yeah, keep it up. I like it.
Keep it up. So that's awesome. Open a desktop app. You guys get the idea, which is like super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then this happens as well. Somebody else, like you still working on it in the browser, Paul? Knock it off. Right. Oh, I have it open a couple times, actually.
Bruce is asking, that's pretty sweet. Is it only online beta? Is he asking about the context bar?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, if he's asking about the context bar, yep, right now it's just on the web. But if you like it, that's great. We're working on it elsewhere too. So.
All right. So we did the thing. Yeah, so that's awesome. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to jump to, because we do kind of back to our desktop document. This one doesn't have any comments. We saw comments rolling through in the browser. We don't have to go to the browser for those comments, because, of course, they're going to be in here.
So everything just flows right in here. And then, when you have the commenting panel open, you see all of these, I always forget the word, annotations that people have made on the content, so the pins, the circles, etc. And then when you close the commenting panel, you don't see them. So it's not like you have to work with
Frank.
them.
Yeah, so perfect. That's awesome. Change for a healthy salad sandwich. I think it looks pretty healthy. I don't know. I don't know what a healthy salad sandwich is.
like a pita with just lettuce stuffed in.
Yeah, or is it like a lettuce wrap? Oh man, those are so good. Okay, refine selection, please. Perfect. Love this feedback. And right down here, we could, wait, actually isn't it down here? Yeah, there we go. Right down here, this is where we hide those comments. Like, okay, I know what I need to do.
That's how you hide annotations. So if you see the little
hide annotations, yeah.
If like you see the checkbox next to the comments, the like little
dude. Right here?
Yeah, so that means
Resolve.
like you can basically say done or I'm not going to do it.
Right now I'm working on it. Because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I gotta fix that mask. Frank demands it. Let's just use this refine edge.
There you go.
Like all this right here.
Yeah.
I'm just doing this really rough. I
Well,
probably
you
will
were
leave
using the local model, weren't you? You did it on your device.
Yeah.
So maybe, I wonder what results we would have gotten with the cloud.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, it probably would have been better. Good point. Yeah, we'll just click OK. So that looks much better. You know, hopefully.
You have to push submit.
Oh, yeah. Better?
And you can do emojis. You see the little smiley.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, send me back an emoji. So, yeah, everybody kind of gets it at this point. I like this. You know, I also like the cloud documents having version history. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's like
that's the big advantage for another big advantage, I guess, for the cloud docs.
Yeah. So show here. How come?
So it's not a cloud document.
Oh, okay.
But
you don't have any PS.
Yeah, I can certainly open.
Just go to your home.
Oh yeah, that's another pro tip right here. Boom.
Home.
And did you know this? You could actually click on this PS
and go back. Yeah.
To go, but you don't have to open up a file. So let's open up this one, even though it's a conflicted copy.
That's okay.
Just for consistency.
So yeah, so you'll see here, you've got everything you've done. So you've only done one thing. And then you can mark versions. So basically at the bottom, it'll tell you like after such many days, this is going to get deleted or purged. And then if you don't want that to happen, you can just bookmark them. Or mark them. So you see that little mark there, and that means they won't ever be deleted.
Otherwise, they get deleted after how long?
Well, yours is 60 days, it says here. So it might be different based on different folks' accounts types. So you'll just have to look there. But yeah. And then a good thing about this is like, I don't know, if like say your version was from May instead of November, you've been working on this for months. You could open that and like copy and paste some of the elements from that into here if you decided you wanted to like use some of them that you had since deleted. So we have the history panel, right? And it's great for like during a session, we record your history and you can step back and do things like that. This is a little longer term than that. And so you can, go back and grab things from weeks, months, days ago and reconcile. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's nice. That is awesome. Yeah, perfect. Version history, comments, of course, tagging along with your file, but out of your way when you don't need them, which is great. So, what else you guys got? We're kind of winding down. Shoot, we have less than 5 minutes. What else do we need to cover? Let's go back. And so, all this stuff, live Gaussian blur, you guys get it. We can talk about it. It's fine. I want to know, like, is there anything we have to look forward to that you could tell us about?
Oh, me. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was reading the version, the version deletion.
Can you change
duration.
the version deletion
duration? So you can't change it overall, but again, like if there's something you just don't want to get purged or deleted, then you just mark it and it'll stay forever until you unmark it. So that's a way around it. Yeah. So things, I don't know what I can talk about.
Well, you don't even have to talk about specifics, but like I don't want to say anything, but like, so what, is there stuff to look forward to? What are you excited about months coming up?
I'm excited.
Can you tell us progress on thing? Like, not even like, I don't know, hey, we're working on this. Like, it doesn't even have to be a secret.
Right.
Because I feel like the fact that we have access to the beta kind of gives us a little peek into maybe what's next. What we're thinking about. And also, by the way, you also mentioned that just because it's in beta might not end up in the actual final.
Yeah, I mean, beta is definitely a place where we release something that we're, feel confident about and want to get indication from folks of, should we keep working on this? Should we release it in the general release? So, again, feedback is really important. So yeah, you might see some things in beta that you never see. Are you going to do the guides?
Yeah, I have not. I've never changed the color of the guides before.
So just double click, I think. Color, no? You should just double click on the guide.
There's so little.
Oh, it's weird.
I just pull them out from the sides. Like.
Yeah, so just try to.
Oh, let's pull it out.
Okay. You should just be able to double click on the guide and it.
And then I was looking in here. So here we have guides.
Right. So I don't know. You can go to like new guide layout, or new, and you can choose the colors.
Oh, here we
again.
go.
But here, you should just be able to.
Yeah, do your thing.
I don't know if it has something to do with the object select tool. So open the guide, and then you can change the colors here. But I should be getting, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I guess that one changed. Oh, you're able to click on it somehow.
But I should be getting another option that's not the global, like the universal preference, and just change individual guide colors. But we can figure that out.
Yeah. Well, awesome. We're down to our last minute, less than a minute. Yeah, please add colors in the layer panel for layer identification.
We have layers.
We do have that. Is this what you're talking about?
These guys. That guy? Frank.
Hopefully that works for you.
No, but really excited about this coming year. We have a lot of things that we're looking to release in the first part of the year. So,
okay, good.
Be
Maybe
on the lookout for
some
updates.
post Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
In Photoshop would be nice.
Yeah. And this has been really fun. Thank you, everybody, for letting me.
Yeah, Alyssa, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day, and maybe we'll see Hudson next time.
Yeah. We wouldn't get anything
We'll
done.
edit baby pictures. But thanks, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Keep the comments coming, and they can also find you, of course, online. So anyways, that's it, everybody. Bye.